See what's on.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
Fine. But I'm getting to be the dog this time. Hey everyone, it's Anthony here at Talk and Review. Happy Halloween everyone, we're here for our Halloween special and today we're going to be talking about one of my favourite horror movies, which is the Saw series, but in particular, Saw 2. Let's go! So Saw 2 for me really ramped up from where Saw 1 left off. Whilst there was the reveal at the end of Saw 1, spoilers if you haven't seen it already, whilst there was the reveal at the end of Saw 1 where Jigsaw was in the room with them and he was there all along, whilst it was a shocking moment, it almost felt a little bit flat when you realise, oh, well, he was just there the entire time. I feel like Saw 2 took the reveals and took the shock value and took the twists and turns really to the next level by incorporating more than just the two pieces of the game, but not just more than two people. You've also got an entire house where all these traps are, and these aren't traps that we're seeing from a time where he was doing it as a flashback. These are real life traps where people have to think on their feet to get out of them, and I really feel like Saw 2 showcased that element of it really, really well. So some of the games and some of the traps that are laid within the house really are quite inventive, like I said, as opposed to the first one when the idea was to saw your own foot off to be able to get your freedom. This one really kind of takes a much more creative edge by incorporating the traps to fit along with the characteristics of the characters they're laid out for, i.e. Amanda the junkie, as everyone knows that has seen it, that infamous trap where she has to jump into a pit of needles. It makes me shudder just thinking about it, and it's things like that that are incorporated into this movie that I feel, like I said, elevate it from the first. Also the twists. This film has a few twists in it, and when you get to the conclusion of this film, it's really quite satisfying to see those twists come into play. And what I mean by that is how Jigsaw really plays off Detective Matthews, and he really tries to rile him up to get him where he wants to get him, when ultimately he's told him in the initial instance, all I want to do is talk. Give me your time and your son will be found safe and sound. And after that clock timer runs down, where is his son? Push, in the safe. I mean, it's so obvious when you think about it backwards, but when you see that for the first time, it's like, wow, where did that come from? Also, I thought the ingenious part of this film was the reveal that they weren't actually watching these people in the house live, and it was all part of the ruse that Jigsaw was playing. I thought that was really clever, and like I said, it's this thought, this creativity that really sets the Saw franchise apart from the rest, and the fact that this comes along really in its creativeness in the second one more so than, again, like it is the first one, but it continues on in the franchise, like I said, really sets this franchise apart from other survival horror movies that you see out there. It also has its fair share of gore as well. I mean, like right from the start of the movie, pretty much towards the beginning of the movie, where some dude pokes his eye straight in the eye hole and boom, gets his head exploded out. I mean, that was like right at the start of the movie, all the way towards the end of the movie where a guy cuts a piece of his own neck off. What the hell? So these are just a couple of things that I love about this movie, but overall the Saw franchise in itself is something that I can't not watch, and every time I go back to it I find something more enjoyable to watch than I did the first time, and I think it's a treat. Like, everything is entangled and entwined together, and I think it's really cleverly played out. I know that there was a lot of films that were made, and how they all interconnect into each other over time, I really feel like is a benefit to this franchise. Like I said, much more than you get from any of your other survival horror movies. So if you haven't already, go check it out. You've probably seen it by now. You won't be watching this video if you haven't seen Saw by now. Go check them all out. I think there's like 8,000 of them or something like that. Go check them out. Let me know what you think of my choice in horror movies. Do you like the Saw franchises at all? If you do, which one is your favourite? Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We've got a lot of content coming out in the future, so please stay tuned for that. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, where we're updating those accounts on a regular basis. And I'll see you soon. Peace!